Attacks on police officers and their formations, as well as on the correctional service facilities in the southeast in the recent past, have assumed the dimensions of a raging war, but no group has claimed responsibilities for the hostilities except to accuse others. While the military point fingers at the indigenous people of Biafra and their newly formed Eastern Security Network, the citizens are hyped that to date no one has been arrested or identified. Who then are the warriors of the unconventional war, and what do they want? Sunday Independent gathered that from some residents in the region that before AK-47 wheeling headers arrived at the zone, it was generally peaceful, even though a group under the aegis of Movement for the Actualization of Sovereign States of Biafra, MASOB, and later another group, the Indigenous People of Biafra, Ipob, agitated for the independence of Igbo land from Nigeria. No police station was burnt and no security officials were shot and killed at their duty posts. It was further gathered that although dozens of the pro-Biafra protesters were killed, there was no record of retaliation or fight back. However, the war, according to some of these residents, started after the mass protest by youth in Nigeria doubled at the N1C protests. Perhaps group waging the war against Southeast saw how vulnerable Nigeria security agencies were and were as well emboldened by their achievements during the N1C protests when police stations were looted and set ablaze, with some security men killed. As observed, among the main characters in the war are the now ubiquitous Fulani S-men. Sources said the group introduced the fashion of carrying guns about, especially in the forest, in the name of safeguarding themselves and their cattle from natives and farmers. Tension rose when farmers began to complain that the S-men led their cattle to destroy their farmlands. Several communities, if not all communities in Anambra State, for instance, were affected by this. At the local level, various local councils set up desks to handle the matter. In Anambra State, the state government set up a committee which proposed adequate compensation for everyone, whether herder or native, killed and every cow killed by farmers. This worked until it became more of a policy of the herders to push ahead, whether the farmers liked it or not. So it became a case of the herders fighting farmers on their farmland, which has since become a major source of crisis in the southeast. On the other hand, there has been MASOB, a group led by Chief Ralph Uvazurike, which heated the country in the 90s but now merely exists in name. When it was active, it agitated for a separate country for the southeast and all those areas known as Biafra during the Civil War. From the ashes of Masop rose Ipob, the group led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is believed by some commentators to live more on propaganda and threats. Alongside these forces, there exist those who are roughly referred to as hoodlums or bandits. Post-Civil War, Igbo land witnessed an upsurge in criminal activities, most of the time through armed robbery, but that has since subsided. What is now in vogue are bands of armed men who invade police stations and set them ablaze while killing security men on site. They also kill security men on duty and snatch their rifles. The reason for their action is not clearly known, but some observers have described them as anarchists. Okay? That is the question we've been asking. Why is it that the people who they said are behind this whole thing are not apprehended? And if with the way the government is going about it, they are causing problem the more. They are causing problem the more. Because when you are not doing what you needed to do, people are suffering, people are complaining. You don't see, I've never seen anywhere where the army or the soldiers will go and say, yes, we have arrested Fulani S-men. The problem we are having in this country, they've aggravated it. We know that in Borno State, they have the problem of Boko Haram. But apart from all isolated crimes here and there across country, but the main one, another group that have been terrorizing the whole of the north, they call them bandits, and now S-men. Now they have shifted. I don't know, because from my own point of view, I know that there's a reason why all these Fulani S-men are going about. Because if it is all about their cows, the people who have been there before, they have been there for a very long time. This is not the first time we are hearing Fulani S-men in other parts of the country, and the people, their host communities, have been testifying to the fact that they have been living peaceful with them. But since 2015, when Buhari came on board, the whole thing changed. Some of them are saying that it is the APC that invited some of those bandits or some of those Fulani S-men from across Africa to come to Nigeria, and which they have not come out to debunk it, but they have been coming out to defend themselves in other allegations being levied against them, which we know that they cannot even exonerate themselves out of the whole thing completely. But with these S-men, now I can't say that they are there because of their, because you can't be going to people's farms and be destroying their this thing and you expect people not to react. And now the government has been able to tell, they are telling us that ESN or Ipob, they are living on propaganda. What about this government? And the issue of Enugu that we saw this year, nobody is saying anything about it. Nobody is saying anything about it. And this whole issue is not as if it was even the locals or the host communities are the ones who went to the traders market. It was the same government that said they know and they have gotten an information that there is the particular place where the Hausa Fulani people are trading in Enugu, that place is security threat, and they went there with their official personnel. What did we get? What did we see? Up to today, nobody is saying anything about that. So the whole thing is nothing. It is not over until it is over. Now it is now. Oh yes, or there is a crime or there is unrest in Southeast. It is orchestrated. It is not natural. Since 6 years, why it are not that they started killing police and security men on checkpoints? All through this period of 6 years, the AK-47 killer Fulani S-men were destroying farms, setting houses ablaze, raping women, while the police and security men were on checkpoints extorting money from drivers and travelers. Only in the southeast who will be happy at this situation. Let the attack continue because it was their own wishes. Remember, any attack in the north part of an average Igbo man were happy, so it is their turn. Let the music continue playing. It has always been allegedly Ipob and ESN, and it will continue to be allegedly because none has been able to prove beyond any reasonable doubt that all this were actually carried out by ESN. Okay, lack of substance.